Good evening, good morning, good night. Welcome to another episode of Living World of Darkness. This will be a very brief scene. It's Damien and Theodore. Theodore has contact. It's within the Vampire by Night venue. I'm sorry. Should have mentioned
Well,
that. No, it's actually a werewolf and a vampire. I'm sorry. In all seriousness.
Masquerade Breach.
Exactly. Theodore contacts Damien after having a very interesting conversation with Ghost and Monroe and arranges for him to meet him at his office. Now, I believe if Damien is able to handle meeting, people and doesn't mind being seen in his guise, so to speak, basically, if you've got op 3, meet him in his office. If not, you have the option to say, let's do it somewhere else.
I have op 3, but it doesn't cover cameras, as you know. But yeah,
no cameras.
I have op 3.
Officially, there are no cameras in the building, as far as I'm aware,
Good.
And he definitely doesn't have any in his office as yet.
Sweet.
Okay, so he, when you get to the office, it's a pretty swank office. He's the only legal agent there at the moment, but there are several aides, juniors, yada yada, people who work for him. Basically, heard, no retainers, and interestingly enough, there's also a potentially familiar figure. If you've been to Ghost's Club, which I know you have, Tiny is there.
Tiny?
Yes. Tiny is 6'7". He's a bouncer.
Ooh. Yep.
He's probably standing around and he's eating what was it? Some sort of ethnic Mexican food, which apparently he really likes, which he's been given several of them, and he's got one of the secretaries practically doting on him. Pretty much the looking at him inside and, stroking his muscles.
I get it.
In any case, that's what's going on. He'll probably look up when you arrive, but, since he knows you're coming, no big deal. Yeah. And he's probably seen you before in some guise or another. Anyways.
He's too busy with the girl.
Exactly. So, in any case, you're allowed into the main office. Secretary would, get your name, get you in. Theodore is at his desk, sorting papers. There's computer systems. They look up to date, He kind of looks at you. Thanks for meeting me so quickly.
It's my pleasure, he says. How can I help you?
And he motions for the door to be shut behind you, which, of course, I'm guessing you do.
Yep.
He says, all right, I'll be brief. I met with our prince and was given there's obviously he's not worried about being overheard in here. There's the doors and the walls are thick and the glass is pretty much opaque, so don't even have to worry about lip reading or anything. We're safe in there.
Okay,
no
good.
Masquerade Breach.
Yeah.
He's like, I spoke with our prince and yeah, well, what's a prince? Anyways, spoke with our prince, and he welcomed me to the city. He also warned me to be on my guard. And from the sound of it, specifically in regards to the fans I have made in Clan Ventru.
Yeah.
Now, Miss Ghost and Miss Monroe have given me some advice in the matter. How are you for network security?
Damien grins. Actually, he says, I doubt you will find another of our kind in this city who is as proficient with computers as I am.
Yes, you'd said something to that effect before. If that's the case, listen, I know the basics of computers, and I mean, I know how to. I know my email. I know my password. I know how to recover my password. I know how to use a smartphone. That's about where my expertise ends. So, I'll have you set up with one of my secretaries who has the most basic of knowledge about these things. What I need is to make sure no one who, shall we say, anyone who tries to access a file they don't have permission to access will not be able to find that file. And I prefer it if they never know that file exists.
Damien nods. I will do my best, he says, and my best is very, very good. I can even make it so that they get a nasty little surprise in return for their troubles.
Well, if it's an external attack, I suppose that would be ideal. But if it's someone on, here, I'm just thinking if someone makes more than 2 or 3 attempts to put in the wrong password, the workstation would be locked down. And admin, of course, would be limited to yourself and so on. In any case, that's one thing. It also might be best. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to think real fast. Okay.
No worries.
That was the biggest concern. If you can ensure that's not an issue. As far as security, I may want to hire a security guard or two during the day. Unusual, but since my business hours are actually designed to be more at night, that shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah.
Tiny here is available when I am, and I'll give my staff a little instruction to avoid being trusting of others. I won't be taking on any new interns this season.
Yeah. That's probably a good idea, he grins.
In fact, I don't intend to have anyone in my office who does not have a very explicit reason to be there. But as far as network security goes, if you can handle that, that'd be very nice. Tiny here will handle the physical aspects, and I will be tidying up my financial affairs to make sure that anyone who attempts to do that. Oh, yes, that's right. That's what I was going to ask you about. This may sound like an odd request, but you know computers. I know finances. I also have an extensive understanding of legal cases, though not specifically pertaining to computers. I believe we could, if we coordinate a little bit over the next week or so, we could probably make it so that my financial enterprises are, shall we say, lined with red tape that makes it very difficult to interfere with. I can't stop anyone who has control of the markets from ruining me, of course, but let's be honest, I don't think I have to worry about that at the moment.
Nah, I get it.
Well, with that in mind, I'll make sure to coordinate with you on that. Yes, Miss Ghost mentioned something to the effect of, if I was concerned about the clan, I should be aware there was an Archon in town, much as you told me. As I told her, I'm not even going to attempt to worry about that because, let's be honest, if an Archon's gunning for me, there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, that's true, but I just thought you should know about it.
Much appreciated all the same. With that in mind, out of character, since I know the player has to be somewhere really quickly, I just want to make this quick scene. In character, we can assume they just make idle chit-chat if that's something either character would be good for. Pass the time of day, yada yada, and then once the scene is over, polite farewells are made, unless Damien has anything else he wants to mention.
Nope.
In that case, farewells are made. He's let out of the building, and he will be obviously later given the information for accounts, passwords, financial information, along with a tutorial on what's what and shit like that. And that's where we can end our scene. Very short scene, as I said. Thank you, players for players, watchers for watching, and good night.